everyone. Coming at you live tonight, about what 4:30 p.m. Trying out the evening tonight. Had some things going on this morning, and just wanted to see like what doing it at the end of the day would look and feel like. So today, I really want to talk about some of the things I spoke about yesterday, especially in the post that I wrote. I want to talk about, I spoke about protein bars, popcorn, cookies, and that I work these things into my daily nutrition on any given day, right? So, it's not a free for all. And what allows me to, indulge or enjoy these things daily is the way that I set things up, right? And so, what I mean by that is I track my food every single day, right? I've done this for close to 7 years, and I do this for a few reasons. But, you know, one thing that I teach clients is, as with anything in life, it's kind of interesting how more structure actually leads to more freedom. And what I mean by that is, you know, we can stay on track to our goals while at the same time enjoying the way that we eat. Having treats and things like this, even on a daily basis, if like that's something that you enjoy and will keep you on track and kind of negates cravings and things like that, right? And so what we do is we just plan for it, right? If it's like Taco Tuesday, or if you know that you want pizza on Saturday, or that Sunday it's date night, or you're going to go out to breakfast with the family, right? You plan ahead for that, and then you plan the rest of your day around that. And so that's one of the things that I like so much about tracking my calories, and specifically my macros, is when I'm on point and I'm really working towards it, I really have no, like, I don't feel restricted because I can eat really whatever I want within reason, right? I can work some of these treats into my daily. And so I'm going to be tracking every single day along this process, everything that I eat. And another reason that it's important is, say one day that we overeat or we go over our calories, right? One thing that I like to do that helps me with awareness is, say I do overeat one day, I'll enter that into MyFitnessPal the next day and kind of look at the numbers, and it draws more awareness. Like, wow, I didn't really need to add that. I could have subtracted this here or there, And so I think this is a great way to go about it because, like I said, more structure actually leads to more freedom. And I mean, there will be days along this process where I overeat, maybe even days where I undereat. Although that's more of a rare occasion for me because, my goal and a lifelong goal is I want to build as much muscle as possible while never taking any drugs or anything like that, right? And I want to maintain as much muscle mass when I do cut weight. And so, um, that entails like keeping protein intake high, things of that nature. So as far as like what do I do with nutrition? What do I do like as far as meals and snacks and things like that? Typically, what works best for me is I like to eat anywhere between 3 and 4 meals a day. And the structure of these meals, it kind of varies. Typically, I like to train fasted, and so usually I work out at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I intermittent fast. I've done it for 5, 6 years. It's not a diet. It's just a dieting. I wouldn't even call it it's just really a nutrition protocol, right? Something that works for some but doesn't work for everyone. Some people it actually doesn't work well for because they end up with more cravings later on in the evening, right? It's just something that my body has adapted to over the years, and I just prefer it because then I'm not having to worry about eating breakfast or eating earlier in the day. And I'm actually someone that likes to eat more of my calories at night, so I usually have like my biggest meal in the evening. And so the way that it looks is like my post workout meal is typically 6 or so ounces of chicken. So I have a lean protein. I try to get like 2 to 3 different vegetables. I love vegetables. One is the benefit of micronutrients, but I eat a ton of them every day, right? I eat a ton of vegetables. So 2 or 3 vegetables per meal typically. And the post workout meal, I'll always have carbohydrates, usually something fast acting. Like I like to have some fructose, especially in the summer. So I like to have fruit, and then I'll have something like rice cereal with it. It's a pretty typical post workout meal for me. But there's that protein, there's those carbs, and then usually pretty light on fat and some veggies. And then I always have, like, I try to every day have a big ass salad. So basically what I do is I just take like 3 or 4 cups of half and half mix or spinach or whatever it is. Maybe I'll chop up some other veggies in it. I'm not that fancy, so maybe it's like a tomato or something. And then I'll chop up some chicken, toss that in there, use some yogurt dressing. I really like the yogurt dressings by like Bolthouse Farms, and like Opa makes them now. They're Greek yogurt dressings, so if you're not dairy sensitive, it's a great way to get a lot of dressing, a lot of flavor with minimal calories. So I'm a huge fan of those as well. And then dinners, like say, usually my biggest meal, same structure, right? It's like I'll have a lean protein, usually 6 to 8 ounces. I'll have some carbohydrates and then a bunch of veggies. And then as far as snacks go, I try to just focus on things that are either like lightly processed or as whole food as I can, minimal ingredients, right? So I'm a big fan of this popcorn company, Lesser Evil. Even like their pink salt coconut popcorn is like it's made with coconut oil, pink salt, organic popcorn. I mean, those are the only ingredients in it, right? So finding like good companies that you can trust is great for snacks. I personally believe like nobody should live without snacks because like what is life without snacks? I don't know if I would do all this if I couldn't eat the things that I enjoyed to eat, right? So I think that's one thing that I really want to help people understand is like you really can enjoy the way you eat and you don't have to feel like you're dieting or whatever, and feel restricted, right? So because I really don't ever feel restricted. Um, and so, I've gotten a great response on these videos. I really appreciate everyone watching the videos and giving me feedback. And, I appreciate all of you. And I've had about 7 or 8 people actually reach out and want to join me, which is crazy and it's awesome, right? I'm excited. I kind of wasn't expecting it. But so I've thought about it more and more. And I mean, I'm going to be showing up here every single day, right? So whoever, like anyone can join. You can do this at the same time as me, right? There's strength in numbers, so we can help keep each other accountable. If you want to join, it's really just a commitment to yourself, right? Like it can be a commitment to this group, right? A 90-day group. No financial commitment, right? Come along and join with me. Work on yourself. Work on losing this 8 to 12 pounds if that's what you're interested in. But I would say the commitment is this, right? I would say the commitment is tracking your food every single day. I would say the commitment is doing something active every single day, right? Even 10 minutes, something's always better than nothing, right? Even if it's walking your dog or, if you don't got access to equipment, like some sort of body weight workout, right? Three, I would say the commitment is establish one habit to reduce stress and do it every single day. I mean, this is something that I run into a lot with clients is they're highly stressed. Some don't even can't even really articulate that they're stressed, but you can see it play out in other ways, right? And so what I find is a lot of people don't have any like concrete stress relief tactics, right? We're talking about things like, and we'll dive into this later in a different live, but we're talking about, things that really are going to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, right? Rest and recovery. So things like meditation, yoga, journaling, reading. For me, walking my dogs is one, right? So things like this. There's a list of about five that are great examples. And let's kind of circle back. Like I don't want to go too long today, but I want to end today's video by really discussing the tracking of food, right? And I don't know, like for the life of me, it's kind of crazy how much people are willing to like track their exercise and track all these things in their life, all these metrics, right? And they like can send text messages all day long, and they can scroll social media, and they can spend time watching Netflix for 2 hours a night. But for the life of them, a lot of people like refuse to track their food. And I don't understand it, right? I think every single person could benefit from seeing like what they put into their body. And it's not like you have to do it for the rest of your life. But what if you did it for 90 days? Like how much awareness it can create around the way that you eat, right? And so that being said, if you want to join me, I highly suggest tracking your food. It's really just more of a straight line to results, right? Because when we have metrics, it's something that we can't really argue against, right? So we can make adjustments based upon the metrics, and that's a way that we can guarantee results, right? We can't just kind of, you know, throw just like throw something on the board and hope that it sticks, right? There's really no strategy behind that. So we want to get a little more strategic behind that. Anyways, guys, would love for anyone that wants to join. If you haven't already, reach out, shoot me a DM, and we can discuss. Hope everyone has a good evening. And tomorrow, I really want to get into talking a little bit more about training and kind of my training journey and all of that. So, hope everyone has a good night. I'll see you later.